Okay, question 9 says find the value of x. So we can see that we have, first of all, this right angle. And we know that this full turn, okay, will give us 360 degrees. So we've got 2x plus 3x plus 90 will give us 360 degrees. So if we collect like terms, 5x plus 90 equals 360. So we can take this to the other side, becomes a minus 90. So 5x equals 270. And then if we divide through by 5 on both sides, then this will give us x equals 54. So that will be our answer, 54 degrees. Change color. Question 10. Suha is going to buy 150 envelopes. I'm gonna start. Okay, and she has these two options. Letters to send, pack of 25 envelopes for £3.49 and pack of 10 envelopes for £2.10. For 2 packs you get 1 pack free, and she wants to buy 150 envelopes as cheaply as possible. So let's work it out. So let's do our letters to send. So we want to buy 150. Divide that by 25, which is in 1 pack. So that will give us 6 packs. So 6 times £3.49, which is what 1 pack costs, is 20.94. And then separate this. So pack of 10 envelopes for £2.10. So if you buy 2 packs, you get 1 pack free. So that means for 30 envelopes, you get, it's going to be a cost of £4.20. So 150 divided by 30 is going to be 5. So 5 times 420. And that gives you 21. So that means that letters to send is the cheapest. So to send, so cheapest or best value for money, or whichever way you want to put it. Okay, let's just zoom out for this one. Different color. So it says you can use this graph to change between inches and centimeters. So this is like a conversion graph. Change 74 centimeters to inches. So we've got on the x-axis, on the y-axis we've got centimeters. On the x-axis we've got inches. So I'm just gonna call that up. Have it y and x. Anyway, so we have to be very careful because with these graphs, the spaces are not always distributed the same. So here you can see each box represents 1. However, each box here represents 2. So you can see that you have to take that into consideration. So it says change 74 centimeters to inches. So 74. So is here. So if we just follow that line, come about here, and then we'd go all the way down, and it would come there. So that is 29. So usually you'd have a ruler to make sure that you draw a straight, or at least you trace a straight line going from the axis to the line, and then once again from the line to the axis. But just because my lines aren't straight on this, you can just follow the cursor and see that it works. So it says Daniel's height is 6 feet and 3 inches. So 1 foot is 12 inches. And what is Daniel's height in centimeters? Okay, so we know he's 6 feet. So 6 times 12 gives us 72 inches. And we know he's got the 3 additional inches. So 2 plus the 3 would give us 75. And then we know that, so going back to our graph up here, so 50 inches, so here are the inches, so 50 inches, follow all the way up, and then we would, let's just zoom in, sorry, just do that, so zoom in, so you can see that in this case the line is actually halfway through the square. So if we go all the way across to the other side, it's going to end up here. So this is 127, there's 126, 128 and 130, so it's 127. So the 50 inches equals 127, and then 25 inches, which together make up the 75, is going to be, so we just go back up. So again, this is 25 inches, go all the way up here, and then again, same thing, it's about halfway through. And then if we go here, it gets to 63. That's 62, and then that's 63. Centimeters. So if we add these two, we get 190. So 190 centimeters is our answer. So question 12, it says, find the value of this equation and write down all the figures in your calculator display. So if you put this down in your calculator display, you will get the following answer. 0.0733035981. So remember, the trick here isn't writing down the answer you get in the calculator, but making sure that you've pressed the right buttons into the calculator first. So what you would do is, let's say the numerator, so you'd put in 13.4 minus 1.5 squared, and then you'd divide that by 6.8 plus 0.06 squared. I'm going to put that in its own brackets, and then you would get the answer. Question 13, it says rotate shape A 90 degrees clockwise about center 0. So this is something that I wouldn't be able to show you offhand, but we know that it's rotating around center 0 origin, and then 90 degrees clockwise, so clockwise about that way, 90 degrees. And if you were to plot it correctly, you would have, and I'm just going to draw it for you, with straight edges, of course. And again, this should be straight edges. Just gonna put a dash. So please forgive me if they're not straight, but you can appreciate what I'm trying to get at. And then it says for part B, so describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle B onto triangle C. So essentially, what's the transformation that maps this onto that? Well, it's going to be a reflection in the y-axis. Okay, so in this axis, where x equals 0. So reflection in y-axis, so where x equals 0. Question 14. So it says factorize 5 minus 10m. So we want to factorize out the commonality between these two terms. So I have a numerical value here, numerical value here. So we can see that 5 and 10, well, the 5 is a factor of 10 and 10 is a factor of 10. So let's say 5, 1 and 2m, and it says factor fully 2a squared b plus 6ab squared. So let's look at the numerical values first. So 2 is a factor of 6 and a factor of itself, so take that out. So we have a squared here, we've got 1a there, so we've got a is common between them, and b here and b squared here, so we have b to the power of 1 that's common between them. So let's open the brackets up. So what do we have left? Well, we've got a left, and then on this side we have the 3, because 2 times by 3 will give us that original 6, and then we had b left. Question 15, it says write 4.7 times 10 to the power of minus 1 as an ordinary number. So this is times 10 to the minus 1. So 4.7, it can be written as that, which will equal 4.7 divided by 10. So that means that decimal point goes to the left by 1. So 47. Work out the value of this here, giving your answer in standard form. So you can essentially put this into the calculator, and if you do so, you will get the answer as follows. So 228, and then it will be followed by 7 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 2,280,000,000. And then if you put it in standard form, so you would write it as 2.28 times 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 10 to the power of 9, because our decimal point is between the two 2's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's our answer. Okay, question 16. It says A, B, and C are 3 points on a map. 1 centimeter represents 100 meters. Point T is 250 meters from point A. And point T is equidistant, which equidistance means it's in the middle of, or sort of equally distant from, point B and C. And on the map, show one of the possible positions for point T. Now, obviously, I can't show this on the screen just because I don't have the capacity to draw straight lines. and I don't have a compass at hand to demonstrate on the screen, but I can explain it to you. So essentially you get your compass point here, and you would draw your, put the point there, and you would draw something out, sketch something out, and again this is very rough. And then the same thing for point C, you get your compass point there, and you would draw it out, look something like that. And we know that point T is 250 meters from point A, so 250 meters is 2.5 centimeters. So that's now a radius of A, or the circle A. So if we take that point there and we draw out a circle, so again this is going to be a very rough looking circle, please excuse it, and then it says that now we have all the points. We can see that T will be there. Okay, so point T, if we draw, so these are the 2 points where C and B have marked out the intersections. If you draw the straight line, it will be equidistant at any point on this straight line, and it is always 2.5 centimeters away from the circle. So we cross it there, and that is our point T. Question 17. The table shows the probabilities that a biased dice will land on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, and on 6. Neymar rolls the biased dice 200 times. Work out an estimate for the total number of the times the dice will land on 1 or 3. Okay, so this one we need to fill in. So we know that the so max probability equals 1. So it's going to be 1 subtract 0.17, 0.18, 0.09 minus 0.5 minus 0.1. So that's going to give us P1. So P1 is going to be 0.31. 0.31. So it wants to work out the estimate for total number of times dice will land on 1 or 3. So what's the probability? P1 or P3. So that means it's going to be 0.31 plus 0.18, which is 0.49. So it's spun. It's rolled 200 times. So 200 times 0.49 gives us 98. So that's the probability. That's the amount of rolls we've had. So the answer is 49. The estimated estimated total number of times dice will land on 1 or 3 is 98 out of 200.